VDWS. Right-of-way rules. On the water, give-away rules are as important as the traffic regulation on the streets of your hometown. Different than on dry land, though, the type of vehicle you are navigating plays an important role while determining who has to give way in which situation. In this tutorial, we will focus mainly on the give-away rules for sailing vehicles, such as sailing yachts, catamarans, dinghies, windsurfers, kitesurfers, or wingfoilers. For all of those wind-driven vehicles, internationally the same rules apply. Rule number 1. Wind from port gives way to wind from starboard. In other words, if you are sailing with the wind coming from your left side, you have to give way to vehicles sailing with the wind from their right side. Rule number 2. Windward gives way to leeward. If both sailors have the wind on the same side, rule number 2 applies. In this case, the vehicle further windward has to give way to the vehicle positioned further leeward. Rule number 3. Keep clear while overtaking. The third rule for sailing vehicles states that if you wish to overtake somebody, you need to make sure to keep the necessary distance like always, so the sailor with priority does not get disturbed or endangered by your maneuver. Important to know is that in each of those situations there will be always one party who has to give way and another who has to maintain their actual course. As the one having to give way, you should perform your maneuver clearly, in time, and with determination. The kind of maneuver you choose to give way depends not only on the situation, but also on the kind of vehicle you are sailing and has therefore be adapted accordingly. As the sailor with priority, you have to maintain your actual course in order to make giving way as easy as possible for the other party. Only if the other sailor for whatever reason is not giving way, you should change your course yourself in order to prevent a collision. The maneuvering vessel must always keep clear. This means that before any maneuver, such as tacking or jibing, as well as when heading up or bearing away, the free space to windward or leeward must be checked. On a foilboard, it should also be noted that higher speeds and extreme close-hauled courses can be sailed, which may confuse other water sports enthusiasts. Special caution is required in such situations. Muscular-powered vehicles versus vehicles powered by wind. If a muscular-powered vehicle, such as a paddleboarder for example, is on collision course with wind-powered vehicle, the one easier to maneuver has to give way. In our example, even if the paddleboarder does not depend on the wind and would be able to paddle in every direction, the very low speed would make giving way almost impossible. That is why the kiteboarder has to clearly give way. Powerboats versus sailing vehicles. Since maneuvering a powerboat usually is easier and not depending on outside factors, motorboats generally have to give way to sailing boats. Please note that this tutorial only highlights a few of the most relevant give-way rules and situations VDWS watersport instructors and their students are going to be faced with. For each sport, there are additional rules and regulations which can be as important as the ones mentioned here. Enjoy your time on the water. Your VDWS Academy.